Hey, it's Gojira here. Welcome to another Call of Warhammer Beginning of the End Times 1.5 beta. This is going to be a replay of a 4-man FFA between myself commanding the Orcs and Goblins, Consul of Micronesia commanding Chaos Undivided, and over the hill here, the Children of Nurgle commanded by Sippy Sapo, and Geraldo commanding the Empire State of Midland. So I'm going to leave a timestamp in the description, and you can skip to it if you wish. That is when the battle will be starting. So I brought a main line of 3 Orc big guns. These guys are very durable, very tanky, mid-tier troops. They have really high mass. They have high mass for a infantry unit. They're not as high mass as ogres or trolls or anything like that, but they can charge through normal infantry, which is cool. Backed up by 2 Black Orc destroyers, very high charge, high melee attack, but lower on the defense. They also have 2 HP just like the big guns, and can be tanky in some situations. They are a little vulnerable to missiles though because of their lack of a shield. Let's go on to the Immortals. The Immortals are very tanky, about 5 HP elite bodyguard unit. They do have high mass, not as high as ogres or trolls again, but they can do that thing where sometimes if you countercharge a cavalry unit, they will beat out the cav in mass. For some reason, chargers just will give some units ridiculous mass. I have a skirmishing force of 2 Savage Orc Boars. These boars are lightly armored and will get mowed down by other skirmishers, but they're durable in melee as well, and they don't have a bad missile damage at all. Then there's the Rugged Armored Orcs. These are technically a regiment of renown or whatever, so we were only supposed to bring 1, but I had a little extra funds, so I could throw in another one there. The reason why these guys are so powerful, or regarded as powerful by players in the community, is because they have a high missile damage and 2 HP. I have Goblin Spears backing up these guys. I do have Goblin Spears meat shields in the front. We have 3 units of Orc Boy big guns, and that should round our army out. Let's quickly go over Consuls. Consul brings about it's killing me here. Ungor Herd, so about 4 Ungor Herd. About 2 Ungor Herd. They're just spread out. Sorcerers of Nurgle, very powerful sorcerer unit, can fire very fast and has a strong fear or morale debuff, so they can rout units pretty easy. Usually those units come back, but they can rout units like crazy. He has about 3 units of Marauders, and he is an interesting backline here. 1 unit of each of the gods, so he has Chosen Corn, he has chosen Slanesh, he has chosen Zinch, and he is Nurgle chosen. I'm not going to go into the details of these guys, but they are basically elite versions of Chaos Warriors. They have a little interesting dynamic in stats, but generally they're just supposed to be better than Chaos Warriors. We'll quickly go over what Geraldo and Sippy Sapo have. So it looks like Sippy Sapo has a bunch of Nurglings, a Hell Cannon, 2 Hell Cannons, and a Marauder Horseman. Geraldo has Outriders out here and a Mortar for some reason. That must have been an error on his part. So that's interesting deployment. He does have most of his guys over here. I'm not going to really analyze these. We'll analyze them a bit later. He has 2 handgunners on each flank, 4 Empire Swordsmen, 2 Great Swords, a War Altar of Sigmar morale boosting with halberds. Then he has Knights of the White Wolf, very devastating hammer, 2-handed hammer cav. We got 2 Demigryphs, and that should round out his army. Oh, most important, the Tudigan Guard, famous Midland infantry, very heavy, very durable, very nice. Okay, let's go into the replay here. So we're gonna start out. Let's go here, and immediately the Nurgle sorcerers are gonna open up on my men. Now most of my orcs right here do have 2 HP, so we will be not taking too many losses, but there is going to be, yes, some morale debuffs here. Shaken. My goblins are already routing. Expect no less from scum like goblins. I'm going to charge up my big guns, just get my infantry line, close in as fast as possible. Should be their shots are disrupting the charge. Many projectiles like this can disrupt charges, and gunpowder can also disrupt charges. These big guns just route. They just route from the sorcerers almost immediately. These Ungor spears are also affected by the sorcerers' projectiles. You can friendly fire, and the morale does affect. So I charge in. He charges through with these Nurgle chosen, which is an interesting choice. He's moving his Zinch chosen forward as well. I don't know if he's charging these rugged armored orcs or who is he charging, but he is moving his chaos chosen through the ranks. I'm pushing up on the flank with orc big guns. Got some boar boys in the back, should be moving them around. Then we're gonna get glorious charge between black orcs and Khorne chosen. Two beautiful melee units there. Gonna fight it out. So now charging in the flank, he does have Slanesh chosen holding up this little blob of orcs. I think he again routed his own Zinch chosen with these sorcerers. So these sorcerers are very powerful, but they do have a trade-off. One, they'll take up about 1/3 of your funds. Also, they can backfire. So now I finally got some cav around, and I think it's gonna be RIP time for said ugly bastards. Poor Nurgle sorcerers. All they wanted to do was spread their infected love everywhere. This was kind of a waste, but somebody had to kill these marauders, and these black orcs were up to the job. This was really a funny engagement. It really, the sorcerers did not pay off, but they were an interesting choice. Interesting army for sure. Very thematic, maybe not thematic, just kind of crazy with all those different chosen. When Archaon comes, all the colors are welcome. Okay, let's quickly go over to Sippy Sappo and Geraldo's engagement here. So Geraldo seems... Oh, there goes the general. Goes Consul's general. Sippy Sappo seems to just be holding his lines up. He has a lot of Nurglings, and these Demigurts will just chew through those, no problem. He has no cavalry to protect said hell cannons, and his Nurglings aren't in position to do it, so pretty soon these hell cannons, if they even get a shot, close, could have hit, maybe even broke that siege altar if it hit, but soon enough these will probably get killed by some cavalry. And they both Consul and Sippy brought a very interesting builds, is a way to put it. They are very creative. If Consul hadn't friendly fired as much as he did, it would have been a closer battle. If he'd maybe maneuvered his sorcerers around a little bit more, or had, kept his back line a little more stable so he could protect those sorcerers. But it is kind of hard when you're bringing a gimmicky army against a large amount of Orkies with 2 HP and high charge. Backed up by the archer fire I was providing. If he kept those guys in the back, I might have just shredded them because he had no other fire besides those Nurgle sorcerers. Which, hey, the Nurgle sorcerers are pretty good. They maybe could have taken out some archers, or routed them at least. We are getting a lot of lag, and I do apologize for that. I think I've just had OBS on for a while. Getting some nice rear charges on Nurglies. Just mowing down the munchkins. And there's nothing really to be said for these engagements. They're just kind of quirky little engagements. Yeah, so as you can guess what's going to happen soon enough, Orcs will meet Empire on the battlefield. I'm just going to reform my troops here, and I will catch you very soon up against the Empire force of Midland. Hey guys, welcome back to the action. we're heading up against the Empire army, and they're gonna let loose some handgunner fire and some mortar fire. So in the engagement previous, the engagement was Sippy Sapo commanding Nurgle. There was some friendly fire on the Knights of the White Wolf, so that is why they're quite depleted. Otherwise, there's really no other casualties besides a few demigryphs somehow. Otherwise, there's really not too many casualties on either side. They're just kind of roughed up here. He's gonna be firing in with his mortars. They're gonna be missing a little bit. He's gonna send up some outriders, but they're pretty small in a unit, so they're not gonna be able to do too much damage. And he's just unloading these handgunners into goblins, pretty much. Yeah, it's because they're in the front. But these orc biggins are gonna be moving up our infantry line. Let's speed it up a little bit here. Okay, so moving up my infantry line. I'm gonna be letting loose these handgunners, but they were mostly hitting. You will get some shots off here, but I'm gonna bait the big guns, run them back, and push up these goblins and let them do what they're meant to do. Get charged in the face by cav that my big guns don't want to get charged by. I will catch this cav unit, but not that one, and I will get some sweet, juicy kills. Alright, so I have 3 units of Orc Boar big guns flanking around here. He has 2 Demigryph Knights, which are far superior. I'm going to be charging in here. That's my Orc big guns. And we're going to charge right through into the handgunners. So this is not only going to chase these handgunners, but disrupt their formation, allowing my other units to charge in. Let's quickly go. Now look at the murder, the absolute carnage. So much carnage, my OBS can't handle it. Knights of the White Wolf just crashing into these big guns now. On the charge, they will slaughter these big guns. Same with the demigryphs on the Orc Boar big guns. But in prolonged combat, big guns have 2 HP and decent melee stats, so they're very durable and will prevail if they outnumber the enemy and are stuck in deep entrenched combat. So he's gonna rear charge, kill a lot of these boar big guns. I keep wanting to call these boar big guns, I don't know why. So I'm getting his lines disgruntled. We'll get a juicy flanking charge with these Black Orcs. I'm still disrupting his back lines with this unit of Orc big guns who are now fighting to the death. 2 Demon Guard should mop up the rest of these big guns pretty easily. And the cav engagement is not going quite in my favor, but it's not going in his favor either. It's pretty even just because I outnumbered him so much. There goes his general. This will only affect a few units, like some state troops. The Demigryphs should be fine. The Tudigan Guard should be fine. Great Swords, maybe. Empire Swordsmen will probably be the most easy to route now, or handgunners. But the most should still be stable. Empire has generally stable infantry. So he's gonna charge in these Empire Swordsmen. I'm gonna goof the charge. He still has 7 demigryphs, and those can be very dangerous because only 20 demigryphs about ripped up my entire cav force, and this is the remainders. In the center, because of that rear charge and because he kind of outnumbered me with Empire Swordsmen on the front lines compared to my big guns, I am getting whittled down here. But tying up his War Altar from flanking around with these goblins was pretty good. Also tying up these Tudigan Guard, which could be right here in the middle of his engagement, which would be really bad if they were all kind of blobbed up, getting their attack animations off. His handgunners are trying to fire in. My cav is pretty much already dead at this point. They don't really need to fire. They probably might get some friendlies in the way, so I say fire at will because trying not to yawn. It is pretty late. These Orc Boar big guns are gonna fall. It's just a matter of time. Those demigryphs are just superior in pretty much every way. Now I'm putting these Orc Arbors in. Now here's where I'm going to support my infantry with the Savage Orc Arbors who charged in, and these rugged armored Orcs who are mercenary crossbow units are going to turn around. And now I'm going to start focus firing these demigryphs, because there's nothing else besides missiles that can effectively take these guys out without heavy losses. Now he is going to Shrek these Orc big guns if given the chance. He'll Shrek pretty much everything if given the chance, but I just have too much units on the field at this point. Once I got that supporting charge with those Savage Orc Arbors, and he couldn't get this unit of Teuton Guard that was tied up here into the main engagement, so I'm going to get a pull out and charge again, and that pretty much just crumbled his front line. His Royal Sigmar also was tied up with goblins the entire time, which is not good, because he needed those guys in the infantry engagement. And his demigryphs have been whittled down, so my Orc board brigands did their job, even though they all died in the name of Mork, or Gork, or both. Now my armored orcs, mercenary crossbow unit, are just gonna continually fire upon these demigryphs, and that should be about game. These battles are really cool because you kind of like, it's multiple battles in one replay, and it's kind of like, it's not exactly a free for all. It's like orchestrated, respect the 1v1s, then go out and fight the remainder of your army, which I think is kind of cool. Tell me if you guys like that more than chaotic, crazy free-for-alls, because I like chaotic, crazy free-for-alls sometimes too, but I like these a lot as well. So the Wog of Gojira will take the field today. GG to Geraldo, and GG to Consul, and GG to Sippy Sappo, although I didn't really play him. He quickly faded. Nothing left. Just the lone priest. I think nope. There's just a little bit of War Altar left, and that pretty much sums it up. Let's see here. So for honor, I'm thinking about putting on the channel in a bit. I've been playing the beta, been really liking it. Been liking the two favorite heroes are the Kensei and the I think it's called the Kensei, and the Warlord. Warlord's really cool because he has kind of these combo shield attacks. Anyways, tell me what you think about For Honor, because I may put it on in the future, maybe not right now. It's just in open beta right now, but I'm probably gonna put that on in the future. So tell me what you think of it, and tell me what you thought of this replay also, because replay is pretty sexy in my opinion. But Geraldo should be admitting here, unfortunately, he's doing it till the bitter end, and these our mercenary crossbowmen are gonna shred these handgunners to pieces while they're gonna rout, then get just chopped apart from behind. So yeah, the two of the let's take the kills first. Okay, before I get into other stuff, let's take a look at the kills. There are mortals. So Grimgore's personal bodyguard did pretty well for themselves. They were stuck in melee combat with Chaos Chosen variant. I don't know which one exactly, probably Slanesh, because that's where the main group was. Goblin Spears did their job pretty well, especially with that Cav charge disrupting. That's perfect. Even if you just get that, you've basically gotten their worth. And soaking up that handgunner fire is perfect. The mortars really didn't get to do much, which is good, because mortars can sometimes land brutal shots. But I got to tie them up and the handgunners up with that big gun charge. So Black Orc Destroyers did pretty well for themselves. They were probably mostly fighting Marauders, and then they got a side charge, and then this one was probably just in the main engagement and got, grinded it out. They don't have the best defensive skill, but they definitely get the job done with their high attack, high charge, and 2 HP. Orc Big Guns, they did pretty well for themselves. This one is the one that just got totally wrecked by Knights of the White Wolf with their big Warhammers just clubbing them down. Regular Armored Orcs, they did pretty good. Maybe not cost effective, but they kind of kept the pressure on missile wise, and you could also bring them into melee as well. They kind of help outnumber people in the melee fight if you're starting to lose there. And the Orc Boar Big Guns, although they didn't get a spectacular number of kills, it was mostly on Demigryphs. Some rear charges, mostly on Demigryphs and Knights of the White Wolf, which is very good, because if I hadn't sacrificed all these Orc Boar Big Guns it would have been a shit ton of trouble for my army. My skirmishers could have dealt with it a little bit. They're the only other option that can really deal, but Demigryphs have so much HP that it's kind of hard to do that, because their charge will just wreck infantry units so quickly. If I didn't sacrifice those goblins, big guns, and orc boar big guns into that fight to neutralize it, it wouldn't have turned out so nice for the orcs today. And I think he was just kind of whittled down. He friendly fired. I saw that he friendly fired with a mortar earlier, and that's how he killed, that's how any of his cav died, because Sippy Sapper brought Nurgle sorcerers, but they immediately got shut down. Like, they got no shots off, so it was just like he just must have friendly fired, because there's no way anything else could have whittled down his cav force like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the replay. There is one more thing I'm going to touch on. I already touched on the Forerunner thing a little bit too early, but I mean, the battle was pretty much over at that point. So the second thing is that my friend and a dev, a creator of the mod, Tom Doof, is going through some family troubles right now, and his family definitely needs some support. So if you could go look at that GoFundMe page, even if you're not in a position to donate or could even think of donating, definitely check it out and spread the word for sure, because yeah, it would be super cool if you could do that. Like I said, For Honor is probably coming up. Definitely more Call of Warhammer replays. I can't tell you in what order. I keep saying I'm gonna do something different, but it could just be another Call of Warhammer replay in a few days. So you'll have to wait and see. But For Honor is definitely on the list, and there might be some Dark Souls 3, because I do enjoy me some Dark Souls 3. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you later. I hope you enjoyed this replay. Peace.